It was a dark and stormy night. Last week we had an amazing lightning show. You probably caught it with a little bit of thunder, and we now have an Ask Dirk question on the stormy sounds.
Yeah, believe it or not, it took a thunderstorm to bring this question in. Question is from Barry Kwan in Sacramento. It says, I saw lightning but didn't hear any thunder. What does that mean? Curious. Well, let's first of all talk a little bit about thunder and how lightning creates thunder. So let's start out with that. As thunderstorm is going, you can see here we have our thunderstorm. Lightning strikes come out of that cloud and create the thunder. Basically what's happening here, the thunder is created because of the heat that's involved with the lightning. A lightning bolt in and of itself has a temperature of about 54,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That heats up the surrounding air around that lightning bolt up to about 36,000 degrees. That's a lot of heat, and it comes very, very quickly. Sound travels at about over 750 miles per hour at ground level at about 68 degrees temperature-wise. And so what you can do is you can take, get your math skills up, the speed of sound, of course, and the distance that you can be. You can actually find out how far away you are. So it takes about 4.6 seconds for that sound to go about a mile. So you can drive just about how close it is. What I usually do is just kind of listen to the thunder and watch the lightning and then count. And then if the next lightning bolt's a little bit closer,
that's what we used to do as a kid.
You just do that. And so that way you can find out whether it's coming closer or farther away. But rarely do you hear that thunder beyond 10 to 15 miles. So, if you see the lightning and you don't hear any thunder, you're about 10 to 15 miles away. So that's probably one of the reasons why. Now, why does the sound dissipate? For that, we go to the demonstration. Let's go over here to our rope. Here we are. So here's a sound wave in the air. I'm going to be starting this, and I'm going to, oh, there we go. We're going to have a jump roper. And you can see that we have the sound waving through the air. Now, when it's close to me, I would be the lightning bolt, and so this is where the sound would be the loudest. Okay. Now, the farther away you get from it, of course, it dissipates, and so the sound, it's getting weaker. As you can see, the rope, it gets a little bit smaller down there at the end because the wave's not as big. It's just kind of like if you drop something in the water and you see that ring work away from that rock, it gets a little bit weaker the farther away it gets from the center. And so that's what we're dealing with. Now, to demonstrate thunder, I would have to heat up the air to 36,000 degrees, and I don't think I could do that, and if I did, I'd probably get in trouble. So instead of going to jail, I brought along Turkey Two Feathers. Turkey Two Feathers is from old Sacramento living history. He brought along his bullwhip. And what's going on here is that loud crack that you hear from the whip, that's actually the air that's breaking the speed of sound. And that's what happens during a lightning strike. When the air heats up at the rate that it does, because it expands so fast and such a short amount of time, it creates a sonic boom. Just like that whip does. The whip has at the end of it, it's called a popper. And that little piece of string, it moves so fast that it actually breaks the sound barrier, and that's what gives it that crack that you hear.
Pretty fascinating stuff. And so, when I was a kid, we used to say count between the time you see the lightning strike to the thunder, and that's pretty much the distance you'd be. So it's almost a pretty good accurate
It's a very good indicator of whether that thunderstorm is coming closer or farther away. If the count gets closer and closer together, and also, if you've probably had those lightning strikes that have hit right outside, and so just the lightning and then the boom comes right after. That thing came awfully close.
Okay, so how do I get a question to you?
You can go and log on to kcra.com/morningnews and go ahead on there and type in your question, and I'll go ahead and look at that question. I'll answer all questions, and if it's one that I can demonstrate here on the air, I'll put it on the air.
That's impressive to say that you do answer all questions that are sent in to you.
Yep.
Dirk, as always, it's a pleasure. Pretty fascinating stuff indeed. So once again, on our website at kcra.com, or you can go to morningnews.kcra.com. Two feathers. Here we go.
It's your cue. Watch out, Chris.
Whoa. With that said, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Two Feathers is snapping a couple things off before we head in to the commercial break. Please join us. The Morning News continues from 7 to 9 on My 58 right after this.